Welcome back to Everything Whiskey. I'm Callum.
I'm Sam.
And today we're having a look at the classic Jameson.
Jameson. Today we're looking at the long-awaited Jameson. I don't know how to say it, to be honest.
Jameson.
Depends where you come from.
Everyone has Jameson.
Everyone has Jameson or has
Jameson.
had Jameson.
Yeah.
It's the most popular Irish whiskey in the world. 40%.
So Jameson's distilled in Middleton. So Middleton's responsible for, I don't want to put a fact out there, they're responsible for a large amount of whiskies, or Irish whiskies coming out of Ireland.
Middleton Distillery produces majority of
I was going to say a
stuff,
percentage, but I was like, I don't know.
It's a lot.
A
lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Jameson, most popular Irish whiskey in the world, sells so much every year. It's incomparable. And when you drink it, you can see why, because my God, it goes down smooth. Yeah, so when it comes to like gathering notes from this whiskey, I don't know, we struggle with it, not because it's like the notes are difficult to find that are there, it's just that the notes that are there
they're just so
are
simplistic.
so few and far between.
Yeah.
There's just not a lot there, but that doesn't mean it's not enjoyable. I love drinking Jameson, to be honest. I can put it down so easily, and that's not like you should just, knock it back. It's genuinely pleasurable to drink. It's just so easygoing that it is easy to knock back in a kind of dangerously quick manner.
One thing I like about Jameson as well is that they actually experiment.
They do. They don't just we
got
did Johnny recently, and they really do very little in regards to experimenting. But
these guys have got stout casks, IPA cask finishing. They've got a few more that I can't.
The IPA is not up our alley, but the stout is actually really, really good.
Yeah,
that's actually really good. It's better than the this one, and it's like more complex, but it's barely any more expensive, like an extra $10 or something. How much is this here? Like
40?
It's like $40-50, which is pretty much as low as you go, unless you're going like super budget, and as low as that goes is like 30s. It's so sweet on the nose, zero burn. You can stuff your entire nose inside this glass, and you'll experience no burn at all. It's just sweet, lightly malty honey.
It's like shortbread.
So much shortbread, like buttery cream. Oh,
biscuits.
We agree on this one completely. Like it's
got classic Irish notes for a cheap price point, which is really good, especially in Australia.
Yeah,
there is some like ethanol, but it's not burny.
It's not ethanol. I think it's like a weird metallic-y kind of metal. It's like. Yeah, it's not ethanol-y, it's got this weird kind of metal taste to it. But it's not like super, it's just kind of like a bright note that sits in there, but it's not like overpowering. The prominent flavors in this is just going to be sweet and creamy. For me, it's like quite buttery. It's like, it's kind of like drinking
it's got a creamy texture.
It's like drinking someone's, just like vanilla frosting on cheap cakes. It's just like icing, but it's just basically vanilla and sugar and stuff. That's basically, it's like someone's melted that down again. You're drinking that. Like it's just vanilla-y, sweet, super easygoing. There's a few. I get some interesting apple notes, but they're very light.
I was gonna say fruit. I didn't know if it was apple. I was thinking more pearish.
Yeah, I'm thinking of just something like desserty, so like stewed apples or stewed pears in like an apple pie or an apple crumble or something like that. It's like
touch of cinnamon.
It's still it's still along the same lines as creamy and shortbready. It's like the fruits are in that same dessert. It's not a separate note of fresh apples mixed with cream. It's all part of the same dessert. They're very cohesive, the notes in this.
I mean, there's a reason why they're number one Irish.
Number one, yeah.
Simple. I mean, it's simple in terms of its flavors, but those flavors aren't dull. If it makes any sense.
It's like,
any sense.
Any sense.
It makes any sense whatsoever.
Yeah. There are a few flavors, but they're deliberate and very like enjoyable, and there's nothing in there that fights you. It's just, and it's cheap.
It's just inviting.
So it's like, obviously it's going to be popular. Not surprised. I'm going to be glad that when we get back to drinking some more like less budgety whiskies, so we've been doing a few budget ones lately, and they're interesting because you do get a better perspective, but we've got a couple other ones coming that are going to be a bit more up our alley. which will be nice. But I think it has been good to delve into some more budgety ones. It gives you a better appreciation and perspective on the kind of category of whiskey as a whole.
Yeah, you can't really...
It's nice seeing budget whiskies when you're not in the budget zone. You know how like you drink budget whiskies when you're not giving a crap about whiskies most of the time, most people, but like once you get to like the whiskey nerd status, you don't really revisit them budget ones because you got a like a kind of a poo-poo mentality of it. So going back with like a more complex and like
I feel like the
palate, I reckon it's enjoyable because you got a better capability of drinking it and you see more things than you did when you were first drinking whiskey without even paying attention to it.
You can't forget about the budget stuff. That's like the opposite mentality that we should have as whiskey drinkers. Like you should be revisiting cheaper bourbon, cheaper whiskey.
Yeah,
because it, as you said,
it's what got you there.
It got you there, and it gives you a better appreciation for the whiskies that you're in.
Yeah, definitely. But I think a lot of people like they'll start off with Jameson and Johnny Walker Red and Jim Beam and stuff like that, and they'll never touch them again once they move past that. And they're only drinking Booker's or Redbreast and like a Bullen. Like they don't really go back. Yeah, that's
if
what I mean.
If you do whiskey, you're gonna buy Jameson.
Yeah, but I feel like once you get to that point and then you go back and taste it, it gives you a new appreciation of the budget things. Alrighty, thank you very much for watching this episode of Everything Whiskey. If you enjoyed it, maybe leave us a like. If you want to see future episodes from us, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button. Would really appreciate it if you do. And if you do, we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.